Hey, I'm Karen, and I'm a mom to two amazingly neurospicy autistic kiddos. If you're an autism parent like me, you know I don't have time to make a podcast intro. I also lack the tech skills. So let's just get into it. This is the NeurOrdinary podcast. Welcome to another episode of NeurOrdinary. I'm Karen Casso, self-care coach and resilience coach for neurodivergent and autism parents. And I'm here to help you navigate the beautiful, chaotic, and often exhausting world of autism parenting and neurodivergence. If you're listening today, chances are you felt like time, especially for yourself, is the rarest luxury of all. Because let's be real, when your life revolves around constant caregiving, managing meltdowns, endless appointments, and trying to keep up with daily tasks, finding time to recharge often feels impossible. But recharging doesn't always mean carving out hours out of your day. Sometimes it's about finding small but impactful ways to replenish your energy and reset your mind. In this episode, we're going to explore how to recharge emotionally and practically when time is in short supply. You'll walk away with 3 strategies for emotional renewal and 3 practical self-care techniques you can start using today. By the end of today's episode, I hope you'll feel empowered to reclaim even a few moments for yourself without guilt. Before we get started, here's a quick personal story to set the stage. A few years ago, before I discovered how impactful self-care can be, I remember thinking, how am I supposed to recharge when I can't even go to the bathroom without these yahoos acting up? But then I realized recharging doesn't have to look like a spa day. It can be as simple as taking one deep breath, enjoying a favorite song, or stepping outside for just a minute or two. That mindset shift was a game changer for me, and I hope it will be for you too. So let's dive in. First, we're going to talk about emotional recharge strategies. And the first one that I love to start with is practicing gratitude in the moment. Because gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to recharge emotionally because it shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right. And here's the beauty of practicing it. Gratitude doesn't require huge amounts of time, energy, effort, or money. It's one of those small but mighty habits that can fit seamlessly into your busy day. So let's break it down. Imagine you're folding a mountain of laundry, a task that's repetitive, boring, and let's face it, never ending. Instead of letting your mind spiral into frustration about how there is always more to do, take a moment to think of 3 things you're grateful for. Maybe it's the way your child gave you a spontaneous hug earlier, or the fact that you're folding their favorite shirt that makes them light up every time they wear it. It could even be as simple as saying, this detergent smells great and it's making this task suck a little bit less. You don't need grand gestures to feel the effects of gratitude. The small stuff, your kid's laughter, a quick text from a friend, even the luxury of a quiet cup of tea. When you start being grateful for it, that gratitude adds up. The act of pausing to acknowledge these moments starts to rewire your brain. And over time, you'll find yourself noticing and appreciating more positive things naturally. But let's be honest, gratitude can feel like a tall order when you are in survival mode, when everything feels like it's going wrong or the weight of caregiving is crushing. Finding something to appreciate might feel impossible. And that's okay. If you can't think of anything to be grateful for, start small. If the idea of naming 3 things feels overwhelming, start with just one. Maybe it's the roof over your head. Maybe it's the sound of rain tapping against the window, or even the fact that you managed to get out of bed and face another day. On particularly tough days, your gratitude might be as basic as, I'm breathing, and I made it to this moment. That is still valid. Gratitude isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about finding the tiniest light, even in the darkest moments. And if gratitude feels forced or fake, that's normal. If you're not used to practicing gratitude, it can feel a little awkward at first, like you're going through the motions. But here's the thing. Even if it feels unnatural in the beginning, the act of intentionally searching for something good starts to shift your mindset. You don't have to feel a huge wave of emotion right away for it to work. Stick with it, and over a period of a few days or even weeks, you will find that it does start to feel genuine. Finally, make gratitude a habit. The easiest way to incorporate gratitude into your routine is to tie it to something you already do. For instance, you could think of one thing you're grateful for every time you brush your teeth, while you wait for your coffee to brew, or every time you sit down for a meal. Another idea is to end your day with gratitude. Before you fall asleep, mentally list 3 positive things that happened that day, no matter how small they might seem. If you're a visual person, consider keeping a gratitude journal on your nightstand or in your kitchen. Write down 1 to 3 things every day, even if it's just a word or phrase. On hard days, you can look back and remind yourself that even in tough times, there were good moments. And gratitude doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be profound. It just has to be honest. Whether you're thankful for a big milestone or something as simple as a warm, cozy blanket, every bit of gratitude helps build resilience. And over time, you'll notice those small moments adding up, and the challenges won't feel quite so heavy. So take a deep breath. Think of one thing you're grateful for right now. Here, I'll pause and give you a second to think about it. Start small, start simple, and start today. You'll be amazed at how even the tiniest moments of appreciation can shift your perspective and recharge your emotional energy. Idea number 2, lean into sensory-based self-care because it can be a game changer when time feels tight. Engaging your senses helps regulate your nervous system and brings you back to the present moment. Here's a few ideas. Take a moment to run your hands through kinetic sand. Soak in a warm bath with your favorite scent if you have the time, or enjoy the calming sound of rain or ocean waves from a sound app or a YouTube video. Even something as simple as holding a cup of warm tea and feeling its heat in your hands can create a moment of calm. Here's why it works. Sensory activities help ground you when life feels overwhelming. They're especially powerful for neurodivergent parents who might struggle with overstimulation or sensory fatigue, or have their own sensory issues due to their own neurodivergence. And if you find yourself asking, what if my kids want to join in? Turn it into a shared experience. Play with sensory bins together, or enjoy a calming activity like blowing bubbles. And when you need solo time, communicate that boundary with kindness. This is mommy's quiet moment, but I'll play with you after. It also might help to have your own set of sensory tools and fidgets. I know both of my kids get a little frustrated when I keep borrowing their fidgets. Idea number 3, leverage community support. Recharging emotionally doesn't have to be a solo effort. Connecting with a supportive community can lighten the emotional load and provide fresh perspectives. Consider joining my self-care support squad on Substack, where you'll find weekly articles, live coaching calls, and a community of parents who truly get it. Or check out our Facebook group, where we share wins, tips, and encouragement. One parent told me that she didn't even realize how much she needed this space until she joined, that it was like a breath of fresh air. Both spaces are a welcoming, friendly, and inclusive space where you can find comfort, reassurance, and support. Community helps you feel seen and understood. Knowing you're not alone can make the hard days feel a little lighter. And the encouragement to keep on going can be enough to help you get over the big hurdles. If you're worried that you don't have time to participate effectively or actively, keep reading posts or listening to others. That alone can be recharging. Engage as much or as little as feels right for you. Now, here are some practical self-care techniques. You could create a calming corner. A calming corner is like a little sanctuary, a dedicated space where you can step away from the chaos and take a moment to breathe, reset, and recharge. You may have set one up for your kiddos. It doesn't have to be elaborate or Pinterest-worthy to work. Think of it as just a small corner, peace of mind in the middle of the storm. Start with the basics: a comfortable chair, a place to sit, soft blanket, maybe a few of your favorite books. Add elements that soothe you, a diffuser with a calming scent like lavender, a small lamp with warm lighting, or even a weighted lap pad if that feels comfortable. The goal is to create a safe space that feels inviting, a spot that encourages you to slow down and focus on yourself, even for just a few minutes. If you have a busy household, communicate with your family about the purpose of this space. Let them know this is your quiet spot for when you need a break. You could even make it a family rule that your calming corner is off limits unless invited. It's a way to teach boundaries while modeling the importance of self-care to your kiddos. And here's why it works. Having a physical space dedicated to recharging is a powerful form of self-care. And I'm not talking about just hiding in the bathroom and eating the good snacks. It isn't about just having a place to sit. It's about sending yourself a message that your needs matter. When you see that space, it's a tangible reminder to pause and take a moment for yourself. Plus, having a consistent spot for self-care can make it easier to establish the habit of regularly recharging, even when life feels overwhelming. If you're saying, Karen, My house is too chaotic for a calming corner. I don't have the space. I hear this a lot, and trust me, I get it. If a permanent calming corner doesn't feel possible, keep it portable. A small basket or a tote with your essentials can do the trick. Include items like a journal, noise-canceling earbuds, snacks, favorite fidget toy. This way, your calming corner can move with you to the bedroom, the porch, even out to the car while waiting at pickup time. For example, one parent I worked with created a calming kit that lived on her kitchen counter. Inside were her favorite tea bags, a small notebook for gratitude, and a tiny bottle of lavender oil. When she felt overwhelmed, she'd take a couple of minutes to engage with something from the kit. She told me, "It's amazing how just opening that little box feels like hitting pause on my day." Another parent found her version of a calming corner in the family car. She kept a cozy scarf and a playlist of soothing music in the glove compartment. When things got too hectic, she'd step outside, sit in the car, and take a few moments to reset. Here's some tips for making it work for you. Start small. Your calming corner does not need to be elaborate. A simple chair in a quiet corner with a favorite blanket can be enough to get started. Personalize it. Include items that bring you joy or comfort. Maybe it's a family photo that makes you smile or a favorite book you've been meaning to reread. Keep it flexible. Life changes, so do your needs. Be open to adjusting your calming corner over time to reflect what helps you most in the moment. A calming corner isn't about escaping your responsibilities. It's about creating a space where you can recharge so you can return to your family feeling more centered and capable. Whether it's a permanent spot in your home or a portable kit you carry with you, having a dedicated place for self-care can make a world of difference. Start small, make it yours, and watch how this simple habit transforms your ability to handle life's challenges. Another idea, 5-minute journaling. Journaling does not mean you have to fill pages with perfectly written thoughts. Set a timer for just 5 minutes. Jot down whatever comes to your mind. Your feelings, your frustrations, even a to-do list. The act of writing helps you process emotions and clear the mental clutter. Here's why it works. Journaling creates a sense of control and helps you externalize what's weighing you down internally. It's like a mini therapy session with yourself. And if you're saying, well, Karen, I don't know what to write, start with prompts like, what's one thing that went well today? Or what's something I'm looking forward to? It doesn't have to be a BFD, big frickin' deal. Start small. You could even use the Notes app on your phone if getting a whole new notebook seems too intimidating. Next idea, step outside for some fresh air. Never underestimate the power of stepping outside, even for just one moment. The fresh air, natural light, if it's available, can change your mood, help reset your energy levels, and dramatically improve your day. I've had days where simply standing on my porch and taking 3 deep reset breaths made a world of difference. If you have time, take a short walk around the block. If not, just open a window and let the fresh air in. And if you're feeling like, well, I don't have time, the solution could be combining this with an existing activity, like walking to the mailbox or letting the dog out. The goal is to make it as easy as possible for you to get this self-care added to your day. So now it's time to wrap up. Let's recap the 6 strategies we covered today for recharging when time feels like a luxury. Number 1, practice gratitude in the moment. Shift your focus to the positives, even if they're small. Tip 2, lean into sensory-based self-care. Use sensory activities to ground and soothe yourself. Idea 3, leverage community support. Connect with others to lighten your emotional load. Tip 4 was to create a calming corner. Set up a space dedicated to recharging. Step 5, 5-minute journaling. Clear your mind and process emotions with quick, intentional writing. And idea 6, step outside for fresh air. Refresh your mind and body with a quick change of scenery. Remember that self-care doesn't have to be extravagant or time-consuming. It's about finding small, intentional ways to care for yourself amidst the chaos. You deserve it, and your family benefits from it too. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to the NeurOrdinary podcast for more tips and insights. And for even deeper support, visit my Substack to join our community. With just $7 a month, you'll get access to live coaching calls, workshop replays, and more resources to help you thrive. Thanks for listening. New episodes of the NeurOrdinary podcast drop every Thursday. Until next week, remember, that even in the busiest seasons, you have the power to recharge. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with an autism parent you know who would benefit from these insights. And whatever you do, keep it spicy. I'll see you next week.